The Many Voyages of Olaudah Equiano by Courtney Kingery. Olaudah Equiano was born in the village of Iseka in modern-day Nigeria in 1745. At the age of 11, he was stolen from his home along with his sister and became one of many sold into the transatlantic slave trade. While on the ship, his captors referred to him as Michael. Equiano survived the Middle Passage, but not without witnessing the horrors of overcrowding, brutal treatment at the hands of whites, whom he assumed to be evil spirits who wished to eat him, and disgusting living conditions, packed in with as many bodies as they could fit. He came to the island of Barbados, where the traders attempted to sell him, but with no success. They then brought him to the American colony of Virginia, where he received a new master and the name of Jacob. While in Virginia, he witnessed for the first time one of the many cruel mechanisms invented by whites to subjugate blacks, called the iron muzzle. He was sold again, this time to Lieutenant Pascal of the British Royal Navy, who brought him to England for the first time. Pascal then rechristened him Gustavus Vasa, a name which Equiano at first objected to, but eventually adopted formally for the remainder of his life. While in London, Equiano was baptized into the Christian faith. Over the next several years, Equiano served with Pascal, experiencing the open sea and learning English and the alphabet along the way. One event of note was Equiano's part in the siege at Louisbourg, a victory for the British in the 7 Years' War, which secured them the territory of Quebec and cut off the French completely. After serving alongside him faithfully, Pascal nonetheless betrayed Equiano, robbed him of his money and possessions, and then sold him to Captain James Durand, a cruel and malicious master. Thankfully, Durand in turn sold him to the Quaker merchant Robert King in Montserrat, who proved to be the most benevolent of all his masters. With King's help, Equiano learned the ins and outs of trade between the West Indies and the mainland American colonies. On a trip to Savannah, Georgia, Equiano witnessed the Reverend George Whitefield preaching, lighting a fire for the Christian faith within Equiano, who missed the spirituality he had previously experienced in Iseka as a boy. Equiano eventually earned enough money to secure his freedom and returned to England very happy. Over the years, Equiano went on many voyages, periodically returning to London as his home base. As detailed in his autobiography, he witnessed many unique sights not afforded to the average black man of his time, including the eruption of Mount Vesuvius and an expedition to the North Pole. Eventually, Equiano turned his efforts 100% to abolition and fighting for the rights of his black brothers and sisters in England. He joined the abolitionist movement in England and became a major player in the fight for freedom, eventually leading to a cultural revolution in England. He was sure to put a bold portrait of himself in the front of his narrative, leaving no doubt that he had in fact authored the work himself. He even advertised it in the newspaper, the Morning Star. He eventually married a British woman, Susan Cullen, in 1792, as he believed one of the best ways to fight racism and slavery was to intermarry with whites. After fathering 2 children with Susan, and after her death, Equiano passed away on March 31, 1797 in Middlesex. His legacy in literature, culture, and world history have left an indelible mark on humanity. Thank you for watching.